Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us today to celebrate growth and revitalization here in Western New York. I'd like to acknowledge a few people and especially welcome Springville Mayor Bill Krebs is with us today. Give Bill a big round of applause. President of the Springville Chamber of Commerce, Bill Gugino, is with us too. Give Bill a round of applause. We also have with us Cattaraugus County Minority Leader Susan Laboon, Cattaraugus County Legislator Richard Helmick, Town of Ashford Supervisor Charles Davis, Town of Concord Supervisor Gary Eppolito, the Village of Springville Mayor William Krebs, who I've already announced, and of course Bill Gugino. There's also two people who aren't here, wanted to be here, but were unable to attend, but really whose community support and strong encouragement were critical to this project. They are Senators Kathy Young and Pat Gallivan, and even though they're not here, let's give them a big round of applause. So, you know, the story of this bridge is really fascinating, and it's truly a winner. It's really another example of positive results from the state listening to and working with local communities to support their needs, while boosting an entire region in the process. The old Route 219 bridge served this region well for about 60 years. It was a vital link between Cattaraugus and Erie counties for generations, and you all know that. But it needed extensive repairs and was often subject to closures, and there was a better route for 219 traffic. So the State Department of Transportation opened a 4-lane expressway back in 2010 so that motorists could travel through the area more efficiently. The new route seemed to make this bridge unnecessary, but the people who live and work here on both sides of the bridge, they didn't think so. The expressway was a great addition, to be sure, but vehicles could bypass the village businesses, which provide a livelihood for so many in this region. The old bridge was still very important to local traffic, and for some, it was the only way to get to and from the business district in nearby Springville. So under the leadership of Governor Cuomo, and who, by the way, we're all very honored to have him here with us today, we found a solution. Using our innovative design build program, we're constructing a brand new $17 million bridge right here on the very same footprint. So in just a few minutes, 35 pounds of explosives will drop 2.5 million pounds of steel to the creek bed below. It's only going to take a few seconds to do that, but these few seconds will set the table for generations to come. When we all leave here, the crews will stay behind, and they're getting right to work on an aggressive construction schedule which puts traffic back on this bridge about a year from now, with a brand new modern structure with a useful life of 75 years, requiring minimal maintenance and surpassing the service time of the bridge that you see here now. This is just another example of transformative transportation investments that our governor has made, changing the landscape right here in Western New York. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Let's give a great big welcome to our great governor, Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. This is an exciting day. First, the Commissioner Matt Driscoll, who made this happen, and by the way, is making great things happen all across the state. Let's give him a round of applause. Commissioner Matt Driscoll. We did leave Senator Young and Senator Gallivan back in Albany to go through the tedious process of discussing legislation, and we came here to actually get some things going. But this is really, in many ways, a perfect metaphor for Western New York. Change is coming, big change is coming. It's coming quickly, and it's coming after a period of sustained inaction. You know, when you think of Western New York, we went through a very big period where we weren't making progress. And people were getting depressed, and they were getting disappointed, and frankly, people were leaving. They didn't see a future. Everybody was talking about the good old days, what we used to do in the good old days, but there wasn't enough talking about what we're going to do in the future. And we saw our young people leave, we saw our businesses leave. This was a state that kept raising taxes every year and literally taxed people right out of the state. You tax people enough, they will vote with their feet and they leave. And they did that, especially in Western New York. And things that should have been done just weren't happening. People were talking about it, were debating about it, but nothing was happening and there were no resources. And in truth, the state government was not paying enough attention to Western New York. That is the truth. The state government was focused more on downstate, New York City, and upstate New York, and Western New York were not getting the resources they deserve. And I say that as someone from downstate New York. I became governor 6 years ago, and I said, look, it's foolish not to invest in upstate New York. It's foolish. It's wrong, and it doesn't even make sense economically. This is one state. We are one family. We should invest in the entire state. And if upstate New York does better economically, the entire state does better economically. Because we're one balance sheet at the end of the day. So when upstate is stronger, everybody is stronger. 6 years ago, we reversed course. And we said we're going to work in upstate New York and invest in upstate New York and pay attention and time and effort like no administration has done in history. And I'm proud to be able to look you in the eye and say no governor and no state administration has done more for Western New York than this administration. And the proof is in the pudding. So 219 is a perfect example. 10 years of talking about 219 and what should be done and what needs to be done, but nothing happened. Why? Because it took focus, it took resources, it took the state to help. And today is a different day, and today is a day of progress. Also, as the commissioner noted, the way we do it is different. We don't presume to sit in Albany and say, well, we know what's best for you. We know what's best for Cattaraugus County. We're that good that we can sit in Albany and tell you what you should be doing. My grandfather used to say the most important thing to know in life is to know what you don't know, right? You can't have a bunch of bureaucrats sitting in Albany telling you what's best for Cattaraugus, and what's best for Salamanca, and what's best for Springfield, and what's best for Ellicottville. You know better than the bureaucrats in Albany. So what we're doing here today is following your advice and following your guidance. You were right. 219 doesn't work. You bypass communities. You could actually kill communities. The inverse is also true. You accelerate transportation, you can accelerate tourism, accelerate commerce, and that is exactly what we're doing. We're replacing a bridge that needed to be replaced, but we are continuing the transportation system and the access. I believe it's actually going to drive more economic growth, more commerce, more tourism, and this is actually an investment in the entire community. So it's our pleasure to be part of it. Now hopefully what happens is we push this plunger and 35 million pounds of steel falls to the ground. Just so we're clear, if it works, it was all my idea. If it doesn't work, Commissioner Driscoll was in charge of everything. Right. Let's join us up here and let's blow up a bridge. All right.
Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
Well done. Nothing like getting it done nice and fast.